welcome back to my channel. It's Lipsy and we're back with day 7 of Spooktober. Day 7. I don't think I've even stuck in a job as long as 7 days, let alone something extracurricular. So today we're going to be looking at Margam Castle. Now, Margam Castle is something that if you're in a school in Wales, basically you grow up knowing everything about. But for some reason there was a block in my mind past like age 6 of knowing anything about it. So I've had to like research everything. But what I found was actually quite interesting and it kind of jogged a few memories in my brain. But anyway, today we are going to be exploring Margam Castle. So, the castle dates all the way back to the 12th century. The Norman Abbey was founded. Basically, it was a religious centre where loads of monks would live. It was a really important religious centre in South Wales, and it stayed that way up until its dissolution by Henry VIII. After that, the owners built and rebuilt houses on there, and then it took up into the 18th century until it was actually properly developed. In the 19th century, Margam Castle that we know now was built. It was actually built for a guy called Christopher Talbot, and it took 10 years to construct. Now, a little fine detail here is a bit petty, but it's actually a mock castle, so it's not really a castle, it's just a large, comfortable country house. But in the 19th century, basically, there was like a Gothic revival, and everyone wanted their house to look like a castle. So this is what this is, it's just a really big country house. So it remained in use until the end of the Second World War, and after like 25 years of neglect, it was a bit ruined anyway. Then in 1977, there was a fire that damaged absolutely everything. Then, just after it was made a little bit more safe, in 1977 it opened as a countryside park. So anyone that lives locally now knows that this is where you can go to walk your dog. It always hosts kind of events, anything from medieval reenactments to like face painting sessions or something. So we're going to look a little bit into the murder that took place on the site of the castle, and that was the murder of Robert Scott. Now this is actually described as one of the most awful crimes, and he was 39. He was a gamekeeper at the castle, so he worked there. He was working out in the castle grounds and he saw that there was a little gap in the wall, and basically he went to look at it and realised that somebody had actually made this gap to come in and poach. So it was a poacher that had created this little gap in the wall. He saw the poacher and ran into the wall, into the little gap, so basically he thought, he won't get back out now, I'm in here. And then to his shock, when the poacher got back to the gap in the wall, he pulled out a gun and shot him in the face. Now this resulted in him breaking his lower jaw and shattering all of the bones in his face. It didn't kill him. So he actually struggled to get away, and he ran so far away until the poacher noticed he was still running, and the poacher shot him again, so it killed him on the spot. So the poacher ran away. Obviously Scott then died. He was alone. But the worst thing is, this wasn't even the first gamekeeper that had been hurt. It was like a normal thing where gamekeepers would get attacked, and one before that had actually got strapped to a tree and beaten. Would you really take that job? So then unfortunately this left Robert Scott's wife with a small child and as a widow, but she wasn't even allowed to see her husband because his face was so severely damaged. Ghost hunters in LA actually came over to Wales to film this one episode of Margam Castle, and when it aired over there it got 1 million views, so that's gained a lot of traction towards the castle in general, and it hasn't actually aired here yet, but apparently it will be airing soon in the UK. There's also the new film, I'll link it below. It's got an IMDb page, I don't know when it comes out, but it's called The Haunting of Margam Castle. So there's been high reports of paranormal activity throughout the castle. Apparently it's flooding with psychic energy, and the number of stories that come from the castle could potentially make it the most haunted house in Britain. So there's many ghosts haunting the castle, one of which is obviously Robert Scott. Now Robert Scott's ghost is actually said to be a poltergeist. So apparently the ghost has very violent energy. He's full of anger and torment, and a lot of the people that have used the EVPs to kind of connect with him have said that he's really nasty and angry about his death. He felt like he wasn't given a chance to fight back. This spirit is basically still fuming about the way he got killed. Who can blame him? He's known to be a violent and angry spirit. He actually throws rocks around to shock people, and he's been known to throw things down the stairs at people to make them go back down. He doesn't want people to come up into his castle. He's also been seen ascending the staircase. So if anyone's seen the Margam Castle, you'll know the staircase that I'm talking about. If you don't, I'll put it in here. But he's been seen ascending it, so going up the stairs there. There's also a cavalier and a blacksmith that have been seen. They're both kind of dark spirits. They're not bad spirits. They aren't spirits who have caused a lot of activity, though they have been sighted. Now, nighttime security guards there have said that many a times they've heard footsteps running behind them when they're going to shut the lights off, and they've turned around to see nobody there. They've heard disembodied voices, and they said before that they could hear chatter in the rooms, to then find out there was nobody in the rooms they were going into. And then lastly, I find this a little bit creepy. Now, a lot of people have said they've gone there and seen children in Victorian era outfits, which is really weird because there's never been any children's deaths recorded in the building. So this might be kind of residual energy from something that's happened after. But it's a little bit confusing as to why there's so many children stuck in that building. They've been said to have been playing and kind of singing and running around on the castle grounds, but they've also been heard in the hallway where there's a big room for them to play. And they've also been seen darting in and out of rooms. They're actually the type of ghosts that you think, oh my god, I saw something in the corner of my eye, what was that? But people don't bring that much attention to them because they just kind of blame it on something in their eye. I wonder how often we do that as people. So that's Margam Castle. There's also rumours about Emily Talbot roaming around there. She was the daughter of Christopher Talbot. But there aren't that many people who come forward and talk about Emily. It's almost like they're too nervous to say anything, like they've been told they can't. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. This has been on Margam Castle. If any of you have any stories, or if any of you have been there on kind of, you know, explorations, investigations, just leave it in the comments with me. I'd love to read them out. Maybe one day I'll read out all you guys' experiences, like with local kind of haunted places. I'd love to do that. If you've enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up, please leave a comment, and obviously if you're not subscribed, I would really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so I can always let you know when I'm uploading. Thank you guys, and remember, never let anyone dull your sparkle.
It's not for me to say